Hello friends, welcome to today's session. In this session, we are going to discuss the very important problems on subnetting. So after solving these problems, you are having a good grip on completely subnetting IP addressing. Before entering into the discussion, let us say our anthem.
ESE में आपको इलेक्ट्रिकल एंड इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स का सिलेबस कॉम्प्लीकेट
Let us say our anthem, crack GATE and ESE with India's largest learning platform, none other than Unacademy. Get Plus subscription and access unlimited live and recorded courses from India's best educators. About myself, Srinivasrao IS, having more than 15 years of experience in the computer science stream. I taught in many premium academies with a high success rate. Also had industry experience in the relative fields as a database and a network analyst. I also had good certifications in the networking side, operating system side. So my dear friends, many of my students during last 17 years have completed their post graduation and settled in topmost positions. So you also can achieve such kind of success just by clearing GATE examination. If you clear the GATE examination with a good score, which is valid for 3 years, then you will be able to get the admission in premium institutions to complete your post graduation. So once you complete your post graduation, you're going to see that many kind of opportunities are going to come. So what you need to do to clear your GATE examination, just to take the subscription on Unacademy. By taking the subscription on Unacademy, you're going to see that daily live classes and live test and mock test and detailed practical problems discussion as well as quizzes. So these are all going to be very helpful to the students to increase their confidence as well as to get the good score. Apart from that, if you use my referral code, then you are going to get a good discount. So you can also enjoy this discount. And there are two kinds of subscriptions, 12 months and 24 months. All current fourth year students can opt for 12 months. Third, second and first year students can prefer a 24-month subscription. So in this subscription also, you're going to get a good discount. So you start your GATE training from the first year onwards. Don't wait till the third and fourth years. So if you would like to interact with any faculty member to clear your doubts, just to fill the form, and Unacademy is going to allocate faculty member so that they are going to clear your doubts. So let's crack GATE CSE is our YouTube channel. So subscribe YouTube channel, hit the bell icon for the latest notifications and updates. Use my referral code to get the maximum benefits on Unacademy subscription. So my dear friends, let us start the session. Please be sure that take the admission in Unacademy and enjoy the in-depth training program in each and every subject by the India's topmost educators. The first question is here like this. So this questionnaire is based on classful and classless IP addressing, subnetting we want to do. And now my dear friends, he said that class B network wish to form 120 subnets. What is the meaning of subnet? We know it's nothing but split your larger network into smaller networks then you see that the routing decisions are going to be easier. So how are you going to calculate the mask? You see that 120, when we are saying put it in a log form, so we want to see that almost all 7 bits, because 2 power 7 is 128 nearest to that. So I'm going to do 7-bit subnetting. When you are doing 7-bit subnetting, please understand carefully. As he is saying that class B been able to have uniform splitting as well as random splitting. So let me cross check whether this is eligible for uniform splitting or not in the given answers. Yes, it's uniform splitting, consecutive ones, consecutive ones, consecutive ones, and consecutive ones. All 4 answers are eligible for FLSM, means uniform splitting. And now let us put it class B mask. So class B representation is network, network, host ID, and host ID. So now subnetting is mainly concentration masking on your HID positions. So my dear friends, we are not going to disturb your network part, because subnetting is a main for distribution or splitting of your host IDs only. Therefore 7-bit subnetting is nothing but 7 bits are on and 1 bit is 0. And in this we are not disturbed anything. So you pull it as zeros there. So what is your answer finally? 255, 255. 7 bits you take. When you take 7 bits, it is 254 and this is 0. So my dear friends, this is how simply you can solve the answer. Option D is correct in this. Well friends, let us go to second question. Let's crack it. So he is asking, this is an IP address is given and this is the mask is given. What is the subnet ID? That's what is intention. When you are talking a subnet ID, many ways to do this problem. So you can use AND operation, or you can also use deriving the subnets using a summation, cumulative summation, or you can also do making HID bits to zeros and making HID bits to ones. Any style you can do. So I'm going to present a one style. So take your IP address. You see that the IP address belongs to which class. That's very important, because here he mentioned in the form of a classful mask. It's not a classless mask. So the first object is 124. So when you talk about the 124, it is class A. So why class A? Because it is talking 1 to 126, the object 1. So as far as a class A, when you consider that it is a class A, then immediately you notice, as this is a class A, immediately you notice that class A representation is network and a triple H. Okay friends, so this is what our intention. Now IP address is mentioned 124, 133, 112 and 64, and mask is mentioned 255, 255, 240.0. So as this is NID and the remaining are HIDs to us. So now from this we would like to calculate subnet ID. So the calculation of subnet ID is nothing but doing AND operation between your network ID part and host ID part. But here you need not consider network ID part because the network ID part is not going to be disturbed. Host ID is the manipulated. That's why you do AND operation between 133, 255, 112, 240, 64 and 0. So instead of doing AND operation, I also gave you one trick. What is the trick? Write your HID in binary and see that how many bits are subnetted in your subnet mask. If you look at how many bits are subnetted in your subnet mask from your n.h.h, so I could able to see this. This is your format n.h.h.h. So my dear friends, this particular part that is given as a 255 and this part is given as a 2.40 and this is given as a 0 and this is given as 255. Our intention is this because subnetting is basically masking of HID position of your subnet mask. Now in that there are 8 ones, we all know. In that there are 4 ones, 240 means. That means this octet consists network ID bits as well as HID bits, and this octet consists HID bits. Therefore, my dear friends, wherever the subnetting is happen, you leave those particular digits and the remaining HID part make them to zeros to get your subnet address instead of doing bitwise AND. Or if you would like to do AND operation, you can do between each octet 133 versus 255, 112 versus 240, 64 versus 0. You also will get the same answer. And now the second and third octet our intention. So write your third octet in the binary and write your second octet in the binary and the last octet also in the binary. Actually, whenever you are having a 0 here, your subnet ID will be 0 only, no doubt. But let me write 64. Slowly you are going to get a speed how to do using a different shortcuts only by experience. So 133 binary I am writing. So 128 is on and the remaining off. So 5 is still 5 more bits. That means what value 5 I should come. So 101 I can write. And next 112 binary we want. So 112 binary is nothing but 128 is off, 64 is on, 32 is on. Now we got 96, 64 plus 32 and 16 is on. So now remaining bits 1, 2, 3, 4. And when you are talking about the 64, 128 is off, 64 is on and the remaining are zeros. And now this is completely subnetted. It means what? Leave the subnetted bits gap. This octet is completely subnetted. In this octet, 4 bits are subnetted. Please see. In this octet, 4 bits are subnetted. Therefore, leave the gap up to there. Because the next position is your host ID only. So I already shared a trick. What is that? So make host IDs to zeros. That's why I have not written 64 into binary format initially. Why? Because anyhow you are going to get 0 only. Because whenever the subnet mask octet value is 0, then automatically your subnet ID becomes 0. And the remaining value you as it is drop because they are your subnetted bits. That's it friends, you got your subnet ID. So what is the subnet ID now? It is as it is written, that is nothing but 133, and this is 112, and this octet is completely 0. This is your subnet ID, my dear friends. So I can write answer as what? C in this. Okay. So slowly you're going to get, don't worry. Let us go to next question. Very similar to that, but in different form he asked. So I'm going to take 201.222.5.0. As this is given a class full marks. That is, you need to understand the classes now because class 2 mask is mentioned 255, 255, 248. Now you observe carefully. This octet is belongs to class C 192 to 223. Therefore, my dear friends, so net ID, net ID, net ID, HID. The first 3 octets are net IDs and the last octet is HID. So our intention is this. So just to find the subnet ID and subnet broadcast address, and we will observe that these addresses are fall in that or not. Okay, my dear friends. Otherwise, you derive different subnets. You also will come to know the same answers without any doubt. So I am deriving a different subnets. So if you take that 248 is a subnetted. 248 means 5 ones and a 000. That means your subnet size is 3 bits. That is 2 power 3 is equal to 8 host IDs. Or your block size is also 8 host IDs. So derive your subnets into 88 part. Then you are going to see that which is a valid, which is invalid. Valid or invalid, how are you going to describe? It must not be a subnet ID. It must not be a subnet broadcast address. So whenever you say that it must not be a subnet ID, it must not be a broadcast, then I am deriving the subnet IDs. So your subnet ID starts with a 0. Then after that 88 position we are going to write because your subnet size is 8 host IDs only. So next subnet is 8 and next subnet is 8 because 8. Next subnet is 24, 16 to 24. Next subnet is 32 and next subnet is 40. And many others you are going to get. How many subnets you are going to get? These many subnets you are going to get. Now you see that 16. That means it is your subnet ID. You cannot able to use as a normal IP. And 31. Please understand carefully. 31. This subnet broadcast address is 31. Because next subnet ID is 32. The before number is a broadcast ID of your previous subnet. Therefore, in 24, if you observe 24 to 31, I can able to pull the addresses. This 24 cannot be used and 31 cannot be used because one is a subnet number, the other one subnet broadcast address. Therefore, this is not possible. 19 is possible? Yes. Why? 19 belongs to or in between 16 and 24. Therefore, it is not your subnet ID and it is not your broadcast. Hence, I can say that yes, it's perfectly alright. if you are looking next question, so some dotted decimal notation is given, that is in the form of hexadecimal digits are given, so you need to convert into dotted decimal form. So now I want to tell you that one hexadecimal digits is equal to 4 binary bits, we all know. So your IP address is 4 octals, that means each octet is going to take 8 bits. That means you need to take 2 hexadecimal digits to interpret one particular octet. Therefore, my dear friends, C0 dot and the next one 2F dot and next one 15 dot 02. So therefore, I have divided entire your hexadecimal digits into our 4 equivalent octets. Now you see what is the meaning of C0. So C0 is nothing but C means A, B, C in hexadecimal, it is a 12, and 0 means it is 0 only. Now you understand. So how are you going to convert this? How we are going to convert this? Very simply you can convert into decimal. So I say that 0 into 16 power 0 plus this 12 into 16 power 1, which is nothing but 192. So you got the first octet 192 here. So all are eligible. Next you see 2F. When you are talking 2 and F is nothing but 4 ones and 2 is nothing but, you know, what is the meaning of 2? 0, 0, 1, 0. This is your 2. That means this is the 15. So 15 into 16 power 0 plus 2 into 16 power 1. So 216, 32 plus 15 into 1, 15. Then you got second octet is a 47. Now you check, this answer is wrong, this answer is wrong, maybe this and this. So we will confirm with the third one. What is that? So 1 and 5, 2 hexadecimal digits, it's not 15, please understand. So 1 and 5. So my dear friends, 5 into 16.0 plus 1 into 16.1. So what is the value? It is 5 into 1, 5, 16 into 1, 16, it is a 21. So we will confirm that this is only going to be the answer. So this is a very good question, how you are going to convert your hexadecimal digits into dotted decimal format. Now you listen. Next question, let's crack it. So which one of the following host in any subnets is invalid? So there are some invalid IP addresses are given. Invalid IP addresses means I already shared, which must not be a subnet ID, which must not be a subnet broadcast address, which must not be a network number, which must not be a loopback address, which must not be a subnet broadcast address, which must not be a limited broadcast address, which must not be a directed broadcast address. So these are all the reserved IPs and it must not be a zeros default route. So take this IP, use this mask and find the subnet IDs. Bus, you're going to get the value. So this is the classful mask is given. So I need to identify the class. When you are talking 192, that is 168 and 32.0, they are your class C and this is your HID. We are not going to disturb these 3 octets. Our main intention is HID only. And so mask is mentioned here, that is a 255 and 255 and 255 and 240. In mask also we are going to see that the first 3 octets are NID and the last octet is HID. This is what we want to do. Therefore, my dear friends, write your 240 in binary, which is 4 ones on, 4 zeros off. So you are going to now find your block size is 2 power 4, which is nothing but 16 HIDs. That means your subnet numbers are in the range of 16. So you say, I'm going to write a few subnets here. That is 0 is a 1 subnet, 16 is a 1 subnet, 32 is 1 subnet. There are other shortcuts also. Other shortcut means what? All zeros, all ones. So you are going to get what? What are your subnet IDs and what are your subnet broadcast address. Otherwise, the first IP address, the last 4 bits supposed to be zeros. That is meaning of SID. And the last 4 bits are supposed to be ones. That is meaning of your subnet broadcast. Many shortcuts are there in IP addressing. But I am giving you, this is a 1 and the summation 48 and the summation 64, then 80, then 96, then 112, then 128. Stop it, because this is only maximum numbers are mentioned. Now you tell me, so an IP address must not be a subnet ID and must not be a subnet broadcast address. Therefore, my dear friends, 33 if you take, because their remaining parts are NID, our intention is last only. Our intention is last octet because we are representing class C. So 33 if you take that, that is in this range. Therefore, it is a valid. 112 if you observe, it is a subnet ID. It is not valid. 126, it is not a subnet ID and it is not a broadcast address. Therefore, it is valid. 119 is in between. 119 is in between this. Therefore, it is not a subnet ID and it is not your subnet broadcast. Hence, this is also eligible. So, the correct answer in this is only that B. Clear, my dear friends? Now, let us go to next question. So, network is mentioned with 8 subnets. And he is asking, find the suitable mask so that I am going to benefited with more number of HIDs. Largest possible number of hosts per subnet. What is that mask we need to identify? When largest number of hosts, when you are talking, largest number of hosts when you are talking, you see that the mask has got more bits. Mask must have more zeros. So you see that which mask has got more zeros, then that is only your answer. For example, before you are going to identify maximum number of zeros, this is the classful because classful masks are mentioned. So you need to see that 131 is belongs to which class. It is a class B. When you are talking that it is a class B, then immediately you need to identify that HID positions. Otherwise it is going to be wrong. Please understand, friends. You need to see that HID positions carefully. So 2 HIDs. So now we are not going to consider this part. and this part because they are NID, and this part and this part. And HIDs, you see that from HID remaining octets, more number of zeros are there in which of the octet. If you take 240, 4 ones, and 8 plus 4, 12 zeros. If you take 248, 5 ones, and the remaining 11 bits are zeros, because your capacity in class B is a H and H, that is nothing but 16 HIDs, 2 power 16 HIDs. So therefore, this is going to give you 2 power 12 zeros. This is going to give you 2 power 11 zeros. And if you look at here, 252. 252 means 6 bits are on, only 2 bits are left in the octet. So 2 bits there and 8 bits here. It is a 2 power 10. If you look at this octet, 224, that means 3 bits on, the remaining 5 bits are for HIDs only. So 2 power 5, and in this we are having a 2 power 8. Then I could able to get benefited 2 power 3 minus 2 HIDs. So my dear friends, you understand carefully. So you from this manipulation, you can able to understand that which mask is going to give you the maximum number of HIDs. That is none other than option D, because it has got 13 zeros in that. So I can confirm it is going to give you 2 power 13 host IDs, but provided that you also need to satisfy this criteria. What is that? This is very important. 8 subnets I want. Whether this option D is giving you 8 subnets with 13, 2 power 13 host IDs. 8 subnets means you need to have 3-bit subnetting. Please understand carefully. 8 subnets you want, there is a need of 3-bit subnetting. Whether this option BD is going to give you 3-bit subnetting or not, 100%. Why? 224 whenever you are talking. 224 whenever you are talking, it is a triple one and 5 zeros. Therefore, my dear friend, it is also satisfying subnetting as well as it is also satisfying maximum number of hosts. If you ask, for example, there are 16 subnets I want, then option D is wrong. Anyhow, it is going to provide more host IDs, but it is asking that 16 subnets I want, therefore option D is not going to give you 16 subnets. So in that case, you need to switch over to option A, because there are 4 bits are subnetted and the remaining 12 bits are zeros. Anyhow, according to this question, the option D is correct. If you look at the 7th question, the 7th question is also classful only, which is in this range, and this is your IP address. What he is asking, 24 subnets we want to do, and each subnet I need to take 6 host IDs. So 2 conditions he can. 24 subnets we want, and each is supposed to give you 6 host IDs. And 201, when you are talking about the 201, this is your class C. Please understand. Now you tell me, your class C can give you maximum 256 HIDs. Whether your requirement is lesser than that or not, you need to say. Otherwise, your options are wrong. So let me say that your class C is having the concept of 256 HIDs, and your requirement is how much? You see 24 into 6, that is this much. Okay, no problem. I can able to sanction because your requirement is lesser than my maximum derivation. Therefore, as far as a class C concern, you know triple n dot h we will consider. So my dear friends, He is asking what is the address of the fourth subnet. He is asking you to derive the subnet IDs. I already trained you how to derive the subnet IDs. Very simple. You see that what is your partition size, or what is your block size, or how many number of host IDs or computers you can able to accommodate in that block. That's very important. So let me derive your mask now. Your mask is 255 and 255 and 255 and 248. So this is the N, this is the N, this is the N, this is the H. You see that in this particular octet, how many bits are subnetted. And let us see that 248 means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the remaining are zeros, which means it is expecting what? 8 partitions I need. 8 host ID partitions. So my dear friends, first partition is 0 anyhow, second partition is 8, third partition is 16, next partition is 24. He is asking fourth octet only, fourth subnet he is asking. We got the fourth subnet. What is the fourth subnet value? It is 24. That's it. This is your answer. So this is the second, this is the first, this is the second, this is the first, this is third, this is fourth. So 24 we will confirm that is your subnet number of your fourth subnet. Come to next question. He is asking fourth subnet, fourth host. This is a good question. Fourth subnet, fourth host I need. So same concept we are going to use. This is your class C. So when you are talking about the class C, your representation of the octets triple n dot h, take your mask is 255 dot 255 dot 255 dot and 248. We know that this is the n, this is the n, this is the n, this is the h. So 248 means 5 ones, 3 zeros, my dear friends. So again it is looking into 8 host ID partition sizes. So your partition sizes are 0, then 8, then 16, then 24 and 32. He is asking fourth octet, fourth host I need. 8 host I can able to present in each subnet. So I am taking the first 24. It cannot be used. Next number 25. Yes, I can use. Next number 26. I can use. Next number 27. I can use. Next number 28. I can use. So this is your fourth host. So your answer is option C. Well friends, it's a very simple to solve IP addressing problems without having any tension, but you're going to see that minimum 3 to 4 marks are going to get in the exam. So come to ninth question. He's asking which of the following is not a broadcast address. Broadcast address means what? HID parts all are ones. So if HID parts all are ones, then they are eligible as a what? Broadcast address only. Now let us see. This is also classful mask because mask is mentioned like this. And you see that 124. Now we need to decide the class. 124 is belongs to A. Now you see, my dear friends, when you talk about the A, then it is a concept called N and triple H formation. N and a triple H formation. Now you decide H IDs. We want to see that all ones in your IP address. So therefore, let us take your mask now and your IP now. Your IP is 124, 133, 112, 66, and mask is 255 and 255 and 224.0. This is a N and the remaining are HIDs to us. So you just keep all NID bits and subnetted bits, and remaining HID bits you convert them to zeros and you convert them to ones. Soon after you convert them to ones, then you're going to see your subnet broadcast address. So let us cross check once. So 124, 133, 124, 133. Now we need to cross check the last two octets, my dear friends. Now you see 112 and after that 66 you write into binary, so that I'm going to get subnet broadcast address which is appearing in this or not. So 112 if you write, 128 is on, 64, 32, 16 and the remaining are off. And if you talk about the 66, 128 is off, 64 is on, and the remaining you make them like this. Now 224 and 0 and 255, please observe carefully. That means you also need to write 133 in binary, but I have not written why. I will tell you last. You want me to write this HID also, I will write. This is your HID, this is your HID, this is your HID. 133 is nothing but 128 plus 5. 128 and 5, 101. Now you tell me friends, this octet, now I am changing a font color, please observe. This octet, 8 bits subnetted, this octet, 3 bits subnetted. You know why. 255 means all ones, 224 means 3 ones, which means this octet is a completely subnetted. In this octet, 3 bits are subnetted, and take the border from there, and the remaining is given for you what? HID part only, from there to here. Therefore, this is your subnetted part and this is your 3 bits subnetted part as per as class A concerned. Remaining you make them to zeros and remaining you make them to ones. He is asking broadcast address, so you need not convert them to zeros, just simply convert them to ones. So 1 1 and remaining also ones, and here also remaining all ones. So now you read out your value, my dear friends. As it is you drop this 133, as it is going to be presented, and here you as it is drop your subnetted bits. If you consider the last 7 ones, so the last 7 ones, and you see that last 8 ones. So if you consider last 7 ones and last 8 ones, last 8 ones means it is 255 only. But you see last 7 ones, because they are all going to be zeros and they are all going to be ones, and last 7 ones indicates it is 127. So my dear friends, you observe this bit carefully. What is that? Write your 112 in binary. So what is a 112 binary? A 112 binary, let me cross check. So 128 is off, 64 is on, 32 is on, 16 is on. So therefore 64, 32, 16 is a 112 or not? Yes. And you see that remaining completely is a what? And this is your 0, 111, and this particular, what is that? 224. 3 bits are subnetted in your subnet mask. So leave the 3-bit gap. This is your border of your NID and subnet ID and HID. I am following 3 hierarchy. So in that we are having 100, and here 011 means what? 3 bits. Only 5 bits we need. So let us take only 5 bits. It's not 6 bits. So I am taking a 5-bit combination. So by taking a 5-bit combination, so make them to zeros and make them to ones. Now you got the answer. So what is the answer? 5 and 2. Now you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 5 bits on, here 2 bits on. So you write that what is the mask now. And this is completely 255. Next one, we will go to next question. This 10th question. So which of the following IPs are belongs to same network? Same network in the sense all the IP addresses must be belongs to same block only. So take your IP. This is also classful mask. 157.106. and 46.234, and your mask is given 255, 255, 192.0. So as this is classful mask, 157 belongs to your class B. When you talk about your class B, it is a double N and double H format. So our intention is last 2 octets only. So my dear friends, find out your subnet ID and subnet broadcast address. Now I am taking 157, we are not going to test. 107 we are not going to test because they are your network numbers. Our intention is last 2 octets. What is that? 46 you need to write into binary, and the other octet also you need to write into binary, that is 234. So there is a shortcut I can tell you. Whenever the subnet mask, if that particular octet is 0 and subnet ID is 0 and subnet broadcast ID is 255. Once let us cross check. So 46 if you consider in the binary formation, 128 of 64 of 32 we need. So 16 we don't need. 8 we want. It's 40 now. Then after that 4 we want. Then 2 we want. And the remaining is 0. Now 234 you want, right? So my dear friends, 128 is on and 64 is on, 32 is on. Up to here you got 224. That means 3 bits on, and we want 10. 10 means what? 1010. right? Now you see that how many bits are subnetted in this. He has mentioned 192 and remaining all are zeros only. So 192 is nothing but 2 bits on. Therefore, take the 2-bit position. You just take a border from there. This is your network ID. This is your network ID. This is your subnetted part, and the rest is your HID part. So make them to all zeros and make them to all ones by dropping this. I'm bringing 6 zeros, and here also I'm bringing 8 zeros. This is your subnet ID. So what is your subnet ID? 157.106. Completely you read now 0.0. And what is your broadcast address? Drop as it is, and the remaining make them to ones. 6 ones. Remaining you make them to 8 ones. 8 ones means, please understand what is 8 ones. This is your 255 last octet, and this is your 6 ones, last 6 most ones, 2 power 6 minus 1. It is nothing but 63. So you got 157.106.63.255 is your broadcast address. This is your subnet ID. This is your subnet broadcast address. Now you decide which number is in between this range. Then we can consider that it is in this part, otherwise it is not in this part. So 63.3 is existed in this. 132 is not there. Please understand, my range is 0 to 63 only. Therefore, because of this, it is out of service. So this is your answer. Now if you consider another question, the IP address of the last host of the same subnet. Last host is nothing but what? Before the number of your broadcast address only. This is one of your previous GATE question, 2018 I think so. Please understand. So 201, it is a class C, straight away I can say. 201.15.130.137, and the mask is given 255.255.255.224. As far as class C, we know the formation representation, that is nothing but triple N and a H. Our intention is last octet only. So what is our last octet? 137, you write in binary. 128 is on. So still we need 9, 64, 32, 16, 8, 4, 2, 1. Now you decide in your subnet 3 bits are subnetted. 224 means 3 bits are subnetted. So this is the border. It can say that your block size is 2 power 6 HIDs. So leave the 3 bits for subnetting, because all other 3 octets are NID only. Everywhere all other 3 octets are NID. Our main concentration last octet, that is HID. So this is your subnetted position. Drop it. Remaining you convert them to zeros. What is the value? 128 you got. Ending number also we see. You drop it. You got. So 128 plus 2 power 5 minus 1, 31, which is nothing but 159. So starting number is 128, ending number is 159. But you observe You cannot use starting number and ending number as they are reserved. So before number is asking, last host means what? The before number is asking. So before 159, it is a what? 158. This is your answer. Okay, my dear friends. This you can also do in other style. What is other style? So your host ID part is a 2 power 6. So 64 is the concept your subnet ID. So 0, 64, then 128, then 192. You go in that fashion. So because if you go in that fashion, then you're also going to get that what is the ending number of your 128 subnet. Okay, friends. Let us go to another question. This is CIDR based. Please understand well. This is CIDR based. That means you need not identify the classes. Yes, somewhat your headache is reduced. And he said that slash 28. When he said that slash 28, he is asking ending block number. Ending block number means what? First you identify what is the block size. What is the block size? Your block size is, that is fine. Your total IP octet is 2 power 32 minus 28 ones slash 28 means 28 ones. Then you are limited to 2 power 4 HIDs only. 2 power 4 means it is going to give you 16 HIDs. So by knowing 16 HIDs, you need to identify what is that subnet broadcast address. That means last 16 bits. That means what? Last 4 bits supposed to be ones. Which of the last 4 bits are ones? You need to decide what? Your broadcast address. Last 4 bits zeros means it is subnet ID. Last 4 bits ones means it is subnet broadcast address because your size is 44 only. So my dear friends, you take in such a way that identify that. So I am identifying like this. 0. First let us check, cross check this is going to work or not. 0. And next subnet is 16. And next subnet is 32 because 16 range blocks. Next subnet is 48. And next subnet is 64. And next subnet is 80. And next subnet is 96. And next subnet is 112. Very simple to do. Now you tell me, he is asking broadcast address. Broadcast address means the next subnet before number only. So in this is a 15. In this is a 31. In this is a 47. In this it is a 63. In this it is a 79. In this it is a 95. In this it is a 111. Please understand carefully. So which of the following is resultant subnet broadcast address? So you take that. So this is not your broadcast address, and you take that 64 is not your broadcast address because it is a subnet ID. Please understand. It is your subnet ID. 97, it is also not a broadcast because 96 broadcast is 111. So it is also wrong. And 15, yes, it is a broadcast address of your first network. And I can confirm that it's fine. This is a one way. Otherwise, write 15. Write 15 in binary and see that last 4 bits are ones or not. You also will get the same. 15 is nothing but 1, 2, 3, 4 and the remaining are zeros only. So last 4 bits are ones. As it is eligible, last 4 bits are ones. Hence you can confirm that it is the subnet broadcast address. If last 4 bits are zeros, it is subnet ID. So my dear friends, a small announcement in the schedule. In tomorrow YouTube session, this is your tomorrow schedule, that is 16th September. As usually you have the problem discussion, this time with the different routing tables and a super netting we are going to see, that is started that is going to be started from 6 a.m. So the questionnaire MCQs on subnet as well as supernet, we will talk both of them. This is a tomorrow schedule, and day after tomorrow onwards we are going to discuss some of the important concepts of cryptography. And today concern, so if at all there is any quiz, I'm going to announce at what time I'm going to conduct the quiz. And today your schedule on plus course, because the last session only the DBMS subject is started on plus course. Those who not enrolled, you already plus student. Those who are not enrolled, please immediately enroll. So search my name Ellapu S. Srinivasrao and enroll for DBMS course. Yesterday only I started the lecture. So today we are going to discuss about the schema design, that is a functional dependencies and candidate keys and super keys. The timings on your plus course is 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. If you are already a plus student, please enroll for this course. If you are not a plus student, please immediately join for the plus courses. Plus course is nothing but a what? You are a premium member. Then, as you are a premium member, you can able to access everything which is there in Unacademy. So, my dear friends, Unacademy is offering multi kinds of programs which is beneficial to the GATE aspirants and campus placement aspirants and other public sector undertaking aspirants. So use my referral code to get the admission into Unacademy. My referral code is Sankara, then you're going to get a maximum discount on that, so that you can able to activate all your plus courses and your restrictions are going to be removed. This is for a YouTube. So I'm going to present all the sessions. The timings are this, and this is on for plus. If you are already plus student, enroll it. If not, immediately please join in this. Okay, friends. So if there is any quiz that I'm going to inform you in the next session, that quiz I'm going to conduct on Unacademy Learning Gap. Okay, friends. Thank you very much. Please share all this knowledge to your friends, because this is very much beneficial. Really, you want to work in network engineer or system engineer support, you need to know how to configure IP addresses and all. Very useful topics: IP addressing, how to derive subnets, how to derive supernets and all. And my dear friends, please watch my lectures. Let's Crack GATE ESE is our YouTube channel. There you find my name, Srinivasrao. Then you are going to find the DBMS and the computer networks and operating system subjects. There are almost all 100 lectures I kept. Watch them. Do like, give a like symbol and give a positive comments. Thank you very much. We will meet in the today's plus class, that is 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. and tomorrow 6 a.m. we will again meet with the problem solving of subnetting and supernetting. Thank you very much.